Hi aspirants, welcome to SIVARAJAVEL IAS Academy's weekly roundup of current affairs for polity and international relations. The first topic is going to be about the reservation for EWS that we have already discussed in our previous sessions, but there has been a new ruling that has come from the Supreme Court. It says the reservation had come to recognize substantive equality and not just formal equality. The bench has said Article 15 clause 4 and Article 15 clause 5 are not an exception to Article 15 clause 1, where this Article 15 clause 1 itself sets out the principle of substantive equality. So the ruling also upheld the constitutional validity of reservation for OBCs in the All India quota for NEET exam for UG and PG. This Article 15 clause 4 of the Constitution enables the state to make reservation for SCs and STs, while Article 15 clause 5 empowers it to make reservation for educational institutions. So 15 clause 5 is for educational institutions and 15 clause 4 talks about just about the reservations, while Article 15 clause 1 it says state shall not discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth or any such. So that is why there was a conflict between this Article 15 clause 1 and Article 15 clause 5, where 15 gives reservation and the clause 5 gives reservation, but the clause 1 says there should not be discrimination. So that is why this jurisdiction has said that 15 clause 5 does not conflict with 15 clause 1. And regarding the EWS reservation, the rupees 8 lakh income ceiling for inclusion in EWS, it is the same as the criterion for deciding the creamy layer among the OBCs. We know this already, and so this 8 lakh income ceiling has been upheld. It will be used continuously hereafter and particularly for this academic year. And the bench has said the another criterion, the second criterion which was there in EWS, that is a person whose family owns or possesses 5 acres of agricultural land or more will be excluded from EWS, that is economically weaker sections. And now the committee has removed the criteria that excluded some criteria from the EWS, that is owners of residential properties of 1000 square feet and above, residential plots of 100 square yards and above, and residential plots of 200 square yards and above in areas that are notified municipalities. All such things are removed. So that is simply the residential asset criteria may altogether be removed. This is the ruling of the committee now. So that is the two criteria are 8 lakh income and the agricultural land of 5 acres. These are the only true criteria, and what is not included hereafter is the residential criteria. So what house you have, what residential plot you have will not be included in the EWS reservation category hereafter. And this EWS reservation was granted based on the recommendations of a commission headed by Major General retired S.R. Sinho. This S.R. Sinho committee is important for prelims. And the EWS reservation was given by the 103rd Amendment to the Constitution. The next topic is about the National War Memorial. This has been in news because a part of the flame at the India Gate has been removed and it has been kept in the National War Memorial. National War Memorial, it is somewhere around 400 meters away from this India Gate. The flame of Amar Jawan Jyoti, that is at the India Gate, was established to pay tribute to the soldiers who had died in the 1971 war. It was inaugurated by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on Republic Day in 1972. So what is the difference here between the Amar Jawan Jyoti and the National War Memorial? In the National War Memorial, the soldiers who had been in wars and conflicts of the entire independent India after 1947, whatever wars were there, all the soldiers who had participated and sacrificed their lives, the names also have been mentioned in this National War Memorial. So that is why the present government has argued, saying that, so here we are recognizing all the soldiers since independence India, and also there is a museum here, and moreover all the names of the soldiers are also mentioned here, and so this has to be the one place where the tribute has to be paid to these soldiers. And that is why the flame which has been for the last 50 years in the Amar Jawan Jyoti was removed from there, and it has been replaced at National War Memorial. But the criticism towards this, the question is, this National War Memorial, it honors only those soldiers who have participated and sacrificed in the wars after independence, but it does not talk about those soldiers who have laid their life before independence during the British era. So this is a question raised by certain activists. The next topic is about the Padma Awards, which have been conferred recently. Usually the Padma Awards are conferred at the eve of the Republic Day every year. These Padma Awards, they are the highest civilian honor of India after the Bharat Ratna, and they were instituted in 1954 along with the Bharat Ratna. And the awards are given in 3 categories, that is Padma Vibhushan, Padma Bhushan and Padma Shri. So what are the differences? In Padma Bhushan, it is given for exceptional and distinguished services. Padma Bhushan is given for distinguished service of higher order, and Padma Shri is given for distinguished services. And the Padma Awards do not have any cash award, but a certificate signed by the president. Apart from that, a medallion which they can wear at public government functions. And this is not a confinement of a title, and so the awardees are expected to not use them as prefix or suffix to their names. This is a question mostly raised by even when we watch a movie or something, at the starting of the movie in the titles they sometimes mention Padma Shri and the actor's name and so on, but actually this award is expected in such a way that these names are not used as prefix or suffix after the name of that particular person. But at the same time, a Padma awardee can be given a higher award only after 5 years after the confinement of the earlier award. Let us say a person gets Padma Shri, after that only after 5 years later to that, Padma Bhushan or Padma Vibhushan can be given. And some other conditions include, a Padma awardee can be given a higher award only after 5 years of the confinement of the early award, and not more than 120 awards can be given in a year, but this does not include posthumous awards or awards given to NRIs or foreigners. And who cannot get these awards? Government servants, including those working with PSUs, except doctors and scientists, are not eligible for these awards. And any citizen of India can nominate a potential recipient. Even one can nominate himself. If I want to nominate myself for this Padma Award, yes, I can do it. If you want, you can do it for yourself. And all the nominations are placed before the Padma Awards committee, which is constituted by the Prime Minister every year. And when a nomination is made, a 800-word essay detailing the work done by the potential awardees is also to be submitted to know what they have done. The Padma Awards committee, it is headed by a cabinet secretary and a home secretary, secretary to the president, and 4 to 6 eminent persons as members. And this recommendation is finally given to the committee as submitted to the Prime Minister and the President for the final approval. This is how the awards are given. But recently, but this has been happening many times as well, when awards are given, some people, they don't accept the award due to various reasons. For example, you could remember a very revered singer S. Janaki. When she was given this Padma Vibhushan award, she said she doesn't want to accept it. She said actually South Indian artists are not recognized enough, so I don't want that award. The award that people have given me is enough. So many people have done this, and this year also few people have not accepted this reward. So regarding that, so can any person deny the reward? Actually, there is no provision for seeking a written or formal consent of the recipient. So a person does not have to give consent. Okay, you can give the award to me. But at the same time, before the announcement of the award, every recipient receives a call from the Ministry of Home Affairs informing him or her about the selection. In case the recipient does not want the award, he can say that, and in that case the name will be removed from the award list. The next topic is about Foreign Contribution Regulation Act of 2010. So this act is implemented by the Ministry of Home Affairs. A prelims question. For any NGO, registration is mandatory if they have to receive foreign funds or donations. Once it is granted, once the registration is granted, the FCRA registration is valid for 5 years, and after this 5 years they have to apply for renewal within 6 months on the date of expiry of this registration. In case they fail to apply for renewal, the registration will be deemed as expired. So why this news is important? Because the registration of certain NGOs have been cancelled, and the reason that is stated by the government is after this 5 years is over, they have not even applied for the renewal, so that is why their registrations have been cancelled. And this act was first enacted in 1976, and then it was amended in 2010, and then very recently in 2020, and that is why it is in news. So what are the conditions for the cancellation of the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act registration to an NGO? If the NGO has given a false statement in the application, if the NGO is found to have violated any of the terms and conditions of the certificate or the renewal, and if it has not been engaged in any reasonable activity, say they say I am doing a particular job and that is why I receive fund from foreign countries, but they don't do any job, nothing is happening there for consecutively for 2 years, it can be cancelled. If that NGO becomes defunct, it's not functioning at all, or when an audit finds that irregularities in the finances of the NGO in terms of misutilization of foreign funds. And apart from this, there is another condition. The registration can be cancelled if, in the opinion of the central government, if it is necessary in the public interest to cancel the certificate. So this is the amendment made in the year 2020. The central government can just cancel if it deems, if it thinks that is this NGO is actually not functioning properly and in public it is against the public interest, they can cancel it. And this law is applicable to where and all. The provisions of the act apply to the territory of India, to citizen of India who may be outside India, or a person or an Indian whose companies or their branches are outside India. All of these come under the FCRA Act. And something new in the 2020 amendment, that is something new, is the registered NGOs open a designated account in the branch of the State Bank of India in New Delhi. So any NGO, if they want to receive foreign funds under the FCRA Act, according to the 2020 amendment, they have to open a bank account in the State Bank of India in the Delhi branch only. And what is not considered as a foreign donation under FCRA? Donations made by NRIs will not be considered as a foreign contribution, but at the same time a donation from a person of Indian origin who has got the citizenship of a foreign country will be treated as a foreign contribution. So if an NRI contributes to an NGO, it is not a foreign contribution, but if an OCI holder contributes to an NGO, it will be considered as a foreign contribution. And here, who cannot receive foreign contribution at all? Election candidates cannot receive. Those connected with a registered newspaper, judges, government servants or employees of any entity controlled or owned by the government, member of legislatures, political parties and their office bearers, all these people cannot receive foreign contribution funds. So this could be a potential prelims question, so we have to know it. The next topic is about the Bajwa Doctrine. Pakistan is trying to go for a major reform because it is in multiple crises already, and the chief of the army general, the chief of the army staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa, you can see him here, the General Qamar Javed Bajwa, in the recent years he is giving this doctrine. The Bajwa Doctrine emphasizes the importance of restoring peace within by putting down various internal insurgencies, reviving economic growth, reconciling with the neighbors, rebuilding ties with the US without abandoning their strategic partnership with China, and regaining its traditional political goodwill in the Gulf as well. We know there's a tussle going on between the Gulf countries and Pakistan as well. Pakistan wants to bridge this, and moreover, it wants to go towards economic development, and to do that, it wants to be out of trouble, including with its neighbor countries. And in this case, no one could be happier than India, where India is struggling every day in security issues because of Pakistan on the west and China on the east. If Pakistan is going to take such an initiative, and if it's going to be happening really, in that case, India could directly be concentrating just on the east with relief from the west, that is from Pakistan. So this Bajwa Doctrine, it could be just a prelims question. What is Bajwa Doctrine? And you can very well use these details in any mains answer. The next topic is about the Competes Act. The Competes Act has been passed by the United States. The Compete Act is to create opportunities for America's manufacturing preeminence in technology and economic strength, or simply America Competes Act of 2002. They are trying to open new perspectives for talented people from around the world in a new home visa. We know already in the last Trump's regime, they were trying to scrutinize the visas. They did not want other country people to go and stay there, because there are some people in the US who feel their jobs are being snatched by other country people because they work for very less salary. As how we keep we people in South India keep talking, saying that people from North India come here and snatch our jobs, they are taking control here, they have come here and because of them we are struggling. All these type of racist thoughts which are here within the country, there we can see that the American people have such thought. Not all the American people, few American people have such thought. And as a political will, the last regime in the US, they tried to curb the visas. But now it has gone opposite, because they need workers there, they need skilled people. Without that, they know that their country's economy would go down, and so now they are going in reverse. They are opening opportunities. They are even starting new types of visas. And one important reason for this is they want to surpass China and the rest of the world for the decades to come. We know that China is being the leader of supply chain nowadays, and US can see that this is going to be a threat to USA's economy, and they want to stop it now, and this Competes Act is one such idea. Now US have created a new W class of non-immigrant. Simply a W, this is a new type of visa, that's it. And it is for the employers with a stake in a newly created entity, essential employees of a newly created entity, and their spouses and children. They are inviting business people, they are inviting people to come, skilled people to come there and start new business. They are concentrating on particularly startups, and this has been seen as a great news for Indians. So there is going to be more opportunities in the US for Indian talent and skilled workers. And we know that every year Indians and Indian companies get the highest benefit out of the H1B work permits issued every year. And we also know USA is the second most popular destination for Indians living abroad after the UAE, where 3.4 million Indians are living here. So the first target for Indians to be in a foreign country for job purpose is UAE, and the next one is USA. So now this W visa is going to be a great opportunity for the Indians. Now let us see what are these visas actually. The H1B visa. This is for people who work in a specialty occupation. So this requires higher education degree of its equivalent also. So this is mostly targeted by many Indians actually. So the H2B visa, it allows food and agricultural workers to seek employment in the US. You would have least heard about this because Indians mostly don't try for this visa. And then the next one is L1 visa. Mostly IT employees try to use this visa. This is for highly skilled workers from India. They are the companies, the organizations, they transfer them to US for a period of up to 7 years. This could be a prelims question. So this period is for 7 years. So that is why L1 is called as a short-term visa. And the J1 visa is for students on the work study summer programs. For this is specifically for the work study summer programs for students. And now the new type of visa that is being introduced by this Competes Act is the W type. And some prelims bits. The National Voters Day is celebrated on January 25. So why is it celebrated on January 25? Because this is to mark the foundation day of the Election Commission of India, which was established on 25th January 1950. So the reason we celebrate National Voters Day on Jan 25 is because of this Election Commission of India, which was established. Okay. And the next one is Republic Day on Jan 26th. So why do we celebrate it on Jan 26th? It's a modern India history question. So this day on Jan 26, 1930. So this has been asked multiple times in prelims exams. The year 1930 was marked as Purna Swaraj Divas. So this day was marked as Purna Swaraj Divas, or the day the nation would attain complete freedom from its colonies by the Congress. So the INC declared this day as the Purna Swaraj Divas, so to pay some sort of tribute to this particular day. But we actually got independence on August 15th, we know. So we wanted the day to be on Jan 26th. We celebrated this day as Independence Day in 1930, but we actually got independence on August 15th, which became our Independence Day. So our leaders, who were mostly in the freedom fight, they thought this particular day, Jan 26, should be some sort of credit. So that is why they made this as the Republic Day. We know, though our constitution was finished in 1949, November 26th, our leaders waited for Jan 26, 1950 to adopt the constitution, so that that day can be celebrated as the Republic Day, just to honor our freedom fighters for this particular day. That's it for today. Thank you. Jai Hind. If you felt the content was good, share it to your friends. Let us learn and grow together.